Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Matt Plays some more War Z, potentially the final episode in this mini-series. I did say 3 to 5. My goal this episode, over the next couple, is to get to a city and show you off what the cities look like, how they work, and whatnot. I am heading to the new city, where we may not be able to see everything I'd like to show off in a city, but you'll get the general idea of how things are going to work. Where we left off, I had just come out of the construction yard. I parked myself up there, and we're looking actually pretty decent in terms of food and water. So we're just going to throw a granola bar down our throat right quick, and we're just going to make our way out of this area. We're just going to make sure all is going to be clear. We definitely don't want to run into any enemies. It does look like we logged onto a server that is heading towards sunset. I'm not sure if all the servers actually run on the same time or not. If they do, well then that makes sense. But for now, all I know is that it looks like sunset. And things are going to get dark pretty soon, which is going to make traveling out in the wild just a tad bit more safe for us, as we can keep ourselves hidden from other enemy players. We'll see what ends up happening here. We are going to be swinging up to the Castle Pine settlement and then head directly north towards Boulder City. Again, not necessarily going to be done in this episode, but hopefully by next episode we'll be there and I'll get to show everything off. This may just be a traveling episode where we could potentially do a lot of nothing. I might edit it all out, edit out like the boring parts if a lot of nothing happens, or it could be eventful and I could just die before we even get to the city, in which case the next video will be me beelining it to the city just to show off what the city looks like and what you can expect when you get there in this game. So we'll just make our way out of here. I don't like narrow paths like this. It makes me an easy target for any player who may or may not swing by. And that means you just got to be very, very careful. And again, maybe keeping my gun away might be the best idea. It'll make sure I seem like less of a threat. And we need to, again, just kind of keep an eye out. What is that? Castle Pine Settlement? Just keep an eye out for players. Zombies are not going to be the problem out in the wild. It is going to be other players. And we just need to make sure that that is going to be something we can keep under our watch, our safety watch. And when I start breathing like that, I immediately think somebody's following me, but no, it's just because my guy's running out of breath because I am sprinting a whole ton, of which is probably a bad idea to do, but we should. I don't want to stay out in the open like this. I kind of probably should hit the trees. Very least it'll provide me some minor cover in case somebody does see me and decides they want to take a shot at me. So we'll just kind of swing this way. Now, I do like to play personally out in third person, primarily because I can swing the camera around. I kind of get a bigger sweeping view of the area. Allows me to be a bit safer. I know a lot of people like to play the first person thing, and that's going to be something you're going to be able to toggle on and off when you create your own servers. You can say, do you want to be first person only, third person only, do you want crosshairs, do you want a targeting reticle, name tags and nameplates above players' heads, etc., etc. All those options that a lot of DayZ people put on their servers, except it's going to be a little bit easier to maintain for now until the DayZ game comes out, standalone game comes out, and it'll probably be just as easy to toggle particular options that you want for your server to hold. So we'll see if we can swing down here, if this is going to be a big drop, or if this is going to be a walkable cliff. It looks like, unfortunately, it's going to be a big drop. I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, look, looks like it's going to be pretty safe. I think I'm going to end up trying to maintain high ground here. Now, the closer I get to the safe zones, the more I worry about people camping outside of safe zones and waiting for people to swing in. And hopefully that doesn't happen. I haven't had that happen to me yet, which is surprising. Because if I was a douchebag and a griefer, that's what I would do. I would be hanging outside the safe zones, waiting for people to swing near them, and just kill them and take all their stuff. Then again, I'm not a douchebag, and I have better things to do with my time than destroy other people's gaming experiences for shits and giggles. Welcome to shitty communities, ladies and gentlemen. So we're almost there, and James Sagelstein's booty is big, in case you were not aware. And the closer we get, maybe it was sunrise that's going on. But I am, as I approach, more and more cautious of potential gankers, griefers, and the like. But we're almost there. I can taste the safety Then when we get there, we're going to take a look at our inventory, pop up on the map, plan our route, and start heading towards Big Boulder City, I think is what they call it. And they have yet to do a character wipe, which is why I'm trying to get this done now, too, because I know once the character wipe comes, everything's going to stop, and I'd have to start from scratch all over again. Alright, I might be safe. The reason I love mid-population servers is because the chance to run into somebody is there, but if you do, it's typically just one person, and you're not constantly having gunfights everywhere. With mid-level populated servers, it almost feels like about survival than it is about PvP. Which is really, really, really what I aim for when I play these types of games. I can see it, I can taste it. That right there is a safety zone. On the outskirts of the wall, it should kick into effect. It should, yeah, I'm almost there. It's going to kick into effect soon, I think. I'm just going to start running. There we go. Boom. We can now take away our gun. I can't be shot. Others can't be shot either. And I can't shoot anyone. So the goal now is to see if there's any players. And why is it important to check for other players? Well, it means if there is another player nearby and we have to watch for them, it means they could potentially follow us. And if they follow us out of the safety zone, they could be waiting for us to leave the safety zone so they can kill us. Or they could themselves be waiting to could have friends waiting out there so they can come loot the spoils and once their friends kill you. All these wonderful, wonderful little things that could potentially happen if we don't want to happen. So, once we get close... Alright, let's take a look at our inventory real quick. So, we've got instant oatmeal and a chocolate bar, some water. So, actually, our food position is not that great. Our water is, though, and because of that, we can use our soda to feed ourselves just a little bit. I don't mind using the soda. In fact, I might even just eat the chocolate bar as well. It'll free up some bag space. And with that, we can not worry as much about picking things up from the ground. Nice and quiet. I don't see anybody. I didn't see anybody through binoculars with a quick sweeping view. Once I round this corner here, we'll make sure we'll be 100% more positive if anybody's there. And if nobody's immediately in the immediate vicinity, then I'm not going to worry about it because as long as they stay, as long as I leave the safety zone before they do, I will always have the upper hand on shooting them. So I think we're going to be alright. Let's pop up on the map. So we're going to basically follow the road up to the white area, the White Stone Mountains, and then Boulder City. Once we get to Boulder City, we'll do some exploration and we should be good. Does it show the time on there? Oh, it's 7-something in the morning at 2019. I didn't notice that before. Is that? Yeah. Alright, cool. Did not notice that. So all's quiet. I think we can safely leave. And head into Boulder City, or at least make our way in that area. Once we get to Boulder City, things become much more dangerous for us. As if they won't be dangerous on the way there. We may potentially run into a village or something along the way where we can hopefully grab some food while we get to Boulder City. Now, I did have some people ask in the comments, what is the point of this game? Once you get good at it, outside of players killing you, what is the point? And really, that's been something that's been a lot of people's questions about DayZ and about other games such as that. And right now, as of this moment, there is none. But with this game, there is going to be player-created missions, kind of like a questing system that players create. And it could be anything from like, oh, I'll pay you, you meet me here and I'll pay you a ton of money for this particular item. First one to bring it to me gets, whatever. To, I need to get from point A to point B to meet up my buddy. I am willing to have a bodyguard transport me for these items, or I will pay them this amount of money or whatever. And these are all going to go up into the missions tab that you're going to be able to click on and check out. And I don't even know, there it is up here. All these missions and stuff is going to be up there. And that's going to be really the big draw to continuously play for missions. Now, the thing is, those missions can just be lures. You might not want to necessarily go alone, because if you go meet the person who's offering the mission, and he's waiting there with 3 of his buddies just to gank you, that could very possibly happen. And I don't know if there's going to be a particular kind of restriction on that, because I don't see what to stop people from just putting up fake missions all the frickin' time and have this ability to just screw people over almost consistently. And then server hop, so in case their names are just bad, they're on a new server where new players haven't seen them. As I yawn in the microphone. Now, I just don't know how that will be regulated. I mean, I could come up with some ideas, potentially like a bounty system. You know, say somebody, I don't know how missions are made, but say somebody makes a mission and they don't hold up their end of the bargain, or they end up killing you. They do that, an automatic bounty gets put on their head by the game system itself. First person to kill them gets like an item or something, or gets like some in-game currency they can spend. Kind of gives people the ability to be bandits while putting themselves on a bounty while making them a high-profile target. Now the question is, how do you find it? Well, maybe there's message boards around that says target last seen in this location, and it'll say like an hour ago or something. Something that basically, with the lack of name tags on players' heads, it's going to be impossible to tell who's who. The best thing to do is maybe post a picture of them on a bounty board and say where their last location was, and that could potentially be your best bet for doing something that's relatively, I'd say, logical, I guess, or something that would work and have a good effect on it. Now, again, this is coming off the absolute top of my head. This could be a horrendous idea. There could be numerous reasons why it's bad. But there's got to be, in my opinion, there's got to be something in place to make it worthwhile for people who make missions to go through with it, and people who accept the missions to go through with it. So, and that is just kind of my 2 cents as to how that could possibly be done. Of course, there's plenty of other ways that somebody could make it worthwhile, or other ways that people could regulate it. If you do it, just simply lock down the mission system for them. But I think that'd be a little too punishing, and I don't think that's really all that necessary. So we're gonna cross the road here. Someone's saying friendly, but I don't think it's to me. YOLO flashlight. That's awesome. I like it. And actually, from here, you can actually see the city. That's how awesome the city is. I mean, we're a good distance away, and you can see the city already. So we're kind of in the open. I'm not a big fan of that. The one thing cities have over, say, like a DayZ city is just the scale. It just looks cool. It actually looks like a nice little city. DayZ's cities looked, I don't know, like factory and tournament camps. They were very, very blocky, very, very, factory looking. I like these because they look like it's almost like a place I could recognize. It's almost like an actual like American city, since we are technically, supposedly in Colorado. Now that building over there is tempting as hell. I keep looking at it because I want to go over there. And I may end up going over there at some point, but the city's the more important thing. Showing it to you guys how it will work. Now, as far as I'm told, the new city doesn't have like any, or very few, if any, enterable buildings. The older one that was already in the game has quite a few. So I am told that as time goes on, as updates happen, buildings are going to be opened up in Boulder City. One of the cool things I like that I've seen in the older city, and I haven't seen anything in Boulder City yet, is that it has like a rooftop system, like almost like Survivors have put planks of wood between buildings, and it makes it look like people have been surviving in the cities and attempting to survive. It looks like we're going to come across a town first with holy frickin' zombies in it. Might not necessarily be worth going in. I mean, I kind of need food, but I have enough to survive. And again, I really want to show off the city. That's kind of my goal here, this video. And this character is made solely for doing that. But with everything that's happened to this particular character, with all the stuff that I have, the character wipe's coming too, though. I gotta keep that in mind. But if I was to play this character, I would say... gotta stop that. I would say, personally, that if this character wipe wasn't coming, I'd actually turn this into a serious character because of how much luck I've had finding a weapon, a good amount of food, a good amount of drink. Alright. I'm purposely staying up on top, within the trees on top of the hill, because if there's a player down there, which there very well may be, but from what I can see, it doesn't look like it. Now there's a market right there, which would be my main target. Which I may want to swing in. There's so many. There's actually a good chunk of zombies down there, which is... Maybe it's because we're close to a city. Maybe he has the zombie spawn rate up higher in these areas. But that means because it's a market, there should be a back fence entrance. There is. Always look over your shoulder. Paranoia pays off. Playing solo, I've only been ganked like once or twice. And by essentially people who I just freshly spawned, a group of 4 dudes. Swang up, killed me, and then ran off after teabagging me, of course. All part of that, this community needs work. But it's also part of the game. But people do live to just destroy each other's good times, which is the real issue I have. Ganking is going to happen. 4-man ganking a new player who obviously has nothing. Not necessarily worth it. I love those zombie roars. Very cool. So we are going to do a quick sweep in. Might not be the best idea, but I am going to attempt to do it anyway because I desperately think food is going to be something I'm going to need pretty badly. And if there's another player watching, I am going to cry, especially if they end up killing me. And then we can swing across the street and make it pretty quick to the city, so... Now, is that a zombie laying on the ground? Or is that a body? In a plastic bag, which they do have, which I like. Alright. Gonna try and get some quick looting in. Oh, that's me. It's making the walking on, like, metal noise, even though I'm walking on concrete. Which did completely throw me off. And it looks like somebody might have been here. Maybe a little recently. Alright, here's some stuff. More ammo for my gun. That's awesome. Some water. Not much else, unfortunately. He could have left that because he didn't have, like, enough space in his bag, or he just didn't have a gun or a 9mm pistol. That's assuming I was a player who completely emptied the area out. Which wouldn't be terribly surprising. For now, I think I'll get away from these zombies pretty well. They don't seem to be paying too much attention to me, which is good. We'll do a quick sweep in here. What's this? Flashlight. Bandages, might as well. And we can get out of here. Unfortunately, not a very lucrative run. Don't want to waste too much time here either. We'll definitely drink the soda. Now to the city. Where I could have a very good chance of dying. We're going to swing. I think we're going the right way up Boulder City. whatever was recently here could potentially also be in the city, so something we're going to have to keep an eye out for. And when we get a good view of a sweeping vista of the city, we'll be able to throw on our binoculars real quick and take a look to see if anybody could be there. Now, the city has potential for good loot, as all cities do in zombie games, and in zombie, just the genre. Cities are a gold mine, but they're also disaster areas, and I'm not quite sure if the zombie levels in this game and cities have quite reached disaster area. It should be a high risk, high reward type situation. I don't think it quite has become that. So here is the city. You see what I mean by it looking awesome. This is one of the most impressive things, I think, is just the looks and the feel of cities in this game. They're huge, they're sprawling, and they're full of good loot usually. But I feel like we should see a lot more zombies than we do. Now that building looks potentially enterable, so we're going to check it out. It is enterable, which is good. We're definitely going to go swing in and check it out. We'll do as much exploration as we can, even if it ends up being our demise. There's a lot of stairs which could lead up to a nice vantage point as well. So we're going to swing in here and make as best use of this city as we can, while being as careful as possible. I think I just took some damage. I did take some damage, which is weird. Now there is like a weird, like, kind of like that, like a glitch. Walking down hills can still cause some fall damage, which is kind of silly, but something that'll be worked out in the alpha, and it's a known bug. So the reason I'm actually running here is because I don't want to be on the open for too long. So now that we have another clip of ammo, I feel okay being a little bit liberal with my bullets. If necessary, that is. So this was kind of pointless. Nothing really in here. We can take a good look. So definitely zombie count a little bit higher than normal for sure. But it doesn't look like anything unmanageable. Alright, I need to keep eating. I kind of wish I had found some food. But that'll keep me occupied. And I'm hopefully healthy enough for the adventure here. So since we are in the city, this will mark the final episode of my little mini-series here. But I think overall you guys can get a good picture as to how this game is shaping up. Is it worth your money? You know, whatnot. I think you can make that decision for yourself. If I had a personal guess, I say it is about as worth your money. It's more worth your money than the DayZ mod and buying all of Arma 2. It's cheaper, and you're getting... If you're buying Arma 2 specifically for DayZ, then don't waste your money. Especially since the standalone's coming, but it's more worth your money than the DayZ Arma... Buying Arma 2 specific for DayZ was. And that was a more expensive purchase. So far, kind of empty in here. Gotta be careful, though. Not sure what kind of loot we're looking at, if any. So far, not a whole lot to loot. A lot of zombies out there. But yeah, being in the city definitely feels like you're in the city. A little overgrown, beat down, abandoned buildings with a whole lot of nothing in them so far. Which makes sense. But I think we're just going to keep going up for now. Is there no more upstairs? Come on. Oh, apparently it's only 2 floors. So we'll keep exploring a little bit. We can check this side of the building. Now, being so claustrophobic in the city, first person's almost kind of the way to go. Because you can turn corners a little bit quicker. Thought that bush was a zombie. Alright, so we got some loot here, a couple flashlights. We'll keep making our way for a bit. The goal is going to be, can you find food? I think we're going to try and go straight. We may have to empty a bullet here. Nope. Somehow, he's distracted eating something. Alright. Alright, we got away from him. Whew. Not sure how he did not see me there. Any normal zombie would have definitely seen me. Couple more. Building we can go in. Do a quick sweep for something useful. So far, unfortunately, it seems the answer for loot is none. We've come across, what, 2 flashlights on a stair? It's a whole lot of nothing in general. We're not going to go out that door. Come out this one and go straight ahead. Now, again, I can be a little bit more liberal because we have clips. Whoa. Oh, I thought that was a floating piece of loot. One of the cool things you're going to be able to do is build in this game. You can build barricades and walls and all kinds of cool stuff. So someone holding up in the city won't necessarily be unheard of. In fact, it'll be probably pretty common, which I like. I like that idea a lot. I'm definitely looking forward to when that's finally implemented and the kinds of cool forts we'll see. How long people can survive in the city without being killed by other players. 'Cause that's going to be when players are going to be the most important for killing off players, killing off other players, is because once you build a fort and zombies aren't a threat anymore, that's when players should be the real threat. Building up little communities, maybe saying, you know, you're not allowed in here unless you follow these specific rules, etc., etc. So unfortunately, loot is kind of at a rarity right now. We'll swing in here. Also, buildings seem to not spawn zombies, which is kind of weird. Not totally sure I approve of that, but that, I'm sure, also will be addressed at some point. Wish I could grab on the ladders and climb. So it looks like we got like a sunken part of the city over here. We got businessman zombie on his whoop. Oh, And here's actually a good thing to show. Zombies drop in-game currency, of which you can buy some stuff, like bandages and stuff. No real pay-to-win kind of anything. Some basic melee weapons, but no like big guns you can buy or anything. Just some basic stuff that you can lose in the game as well. So if you die, you drop it. So basically, a lot of the in-game currencies given to you to give your new characters after you die, or your older ones after you die that you have no loot anymore for. Basically, give them something to start with. Now, how deep can we go? Because I think we can get on the highway here. Alright, he's coming after me. I mean, I could shoot him. I swing on the highway, get a good view. And I think we could definitely, after we get up here, call that a very good first look at this game and what it is planning on offering. You can see, I can see and feel the potential of this game for sure. I can absolutely see and feel the potential for this game. It has the potential to be absolutely phenomenal. For now, obviously needs a ton of work. It is nowhere near ready. But it is still a ton of fun and way more polished than the DayZ mod ever was. And that's because the DayZ is exactly what I said. It is a mod, not a full-fledged game. Once the DayZ standalone shows up, once the DayZ standalone is around, then we'll have something more to compare to, and we can call one game better than the other. But that's not going to be for a while. So no one really needs to worry about that. We got a downed helicopter. That's cool. Look at that. Neat. Now, how cool would this be with a ton more zombies, right? How cool would it be to be up here on this highway? You know, you see your friend out there, you're looking to meet him, he's running, and he's got tons of zombies on his tail, and you're trying to guide him through voice, you know, or just basically trying to guide him to safety without him having to turn around and look at the zombies. He just has to put his trust straight in you to get him to safety. How awesome would that be? Maybe you're taking a pot shot here and there and add some close zombies. Oh, the adrenaline I would feel just doing that would just be freaking awesome. And something I really, really want. Well, guys, that'll be it for this mini-series of taking a look at the War Z. I hope you guys have gotten a good feel for what this game is trying to present. I really feel like this game is going to be a lot of fun when it comes out, whether DayZ is better or not. I still think this game is going to be fun. And, yeah, I thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, thanks for swinging by my channel. I'll see you guys next time.